White House correspondent Aaron Gilchrist is traveling with the president and joins us with more on his visit. Aaron, good morning. So President Biden is scheduled to meet with the president of Angola today. Walk us through some of the highlights of his agenda for this three-day trip.
Yeah, the president really is here to highlight the work that his administration has done, particularly in Angola, really for the entirety that President Biden has been in office. This gathering today with the president of Angola, Joao Lorenzo, is an opportunity for President Biden to sit down with his counterpart here, and I should note that they are right now at the presidential palace here in Luanda, having this bilateral meeting, talking about trade opportunities, talking about security cooperation opportunities, talking about infrastructure that the Biden administration has spent so much time, resources, intellect, and money investing in here in Angola. In particular, you referenced the Libido corridor. It's about an hour flight away from here, the port is, and that's really an area where this rail project has been invested into the tune of upwards of $3 billion just here in Angola. This railway actually stretches into the Democratic Republic of Congo and it touches Zambia in some ways, and will ultimately, the hope is, stretch from one ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, to the other, the Indian Ocean, and be a way for these countries that are rich in minerals to be able to get those resources to the port faster. Now it can take sometimes weeks to do that. The hope is that it would be able to be something that can be done in a couple of days to get those resources to the markets around the world more quickly, and it would be something that would help the economy here, obviously in Angola, but economies around the world as well, guys.
So, Aaron, with just a few weeks left in the White House, it is notable President Biden is prioritizing this visit to sub-Saharan Africa right before the end of his term. Just what's the overall goal, and where does China fit into all of this?
You asked a good question about China. We know that China is a country that has been investing billions of dollars across the African continent for the better part of a decade now. It is a country that owns mines, for example, in the Democratic Republic of Congo as a result of some of the work that they've been doing here. They've got business relationships with Angola as well. And so it sort of looks as though the Biden administration, as well as other Western nations, are sort of playing catch-up here. Not necessarily, though, trying to push China out of the market. We just spoke with the president's spokesperson from the National Security Council about this very question of China. I want you to hear a little bit of his response.
What we're focused on, honestly, is, again, improving our bilateral relationships here on the continent, improving the lives and livelihoods of all Africans, because we know that improves, as I said, the global economy. This isn't a race with another country. We're not asking other countries to choose between the United States, Russia, the United States, and China.
And so we also heard from John Kirby and other senior administration officials that the effort here is not necessarily to push China out of the market, but to say to these African nations that the United States is coming to the table with better options, with higher standards for production, with assurances that child labor won't be a concern, by using American companies and by working with the United States to develop some of the economic opportunities that could exist here in Angola and in neighboring countries as well, Savannah.
And the U.S., through all this, is committing $3 billion to some of these projects, that railway project, for example, other investments there. Do we have a sense of what the future of these projects will be under the incoming Trump administration? Will it be a priority?
And that's a question that we've asked several administration officials, and the consensus seems to be that there's not great concern. Obviously, the Biden administration can't speak for the incoming Trump administration, but there seems to be that there's not a great concern that the Trump administration would come in and try to undo so much of the work that's been